Hello, Mo Truman. We're presenting to you a video on how to fulfill and fill out the rinker paperwork flow. Important part to be noticed is that we want you to be on time. Important part to understand is Rinker is a very safety conscious company. And before you get out of your truck, make sure you have your PPE on before you get out of your truck. PPE means hard hat, safety vest, long pants, shirts with sleeves on them, steel-toed boots, and safety glasses. Cedric has a process in place for the paperwork. Please follow Cedric's process and all will be well. The Rinker shipping bills of lading, or you might call them their invoice or shipping document, there are 4 distinct copies of them. There is the original, there is the project copy, there is the customer copy, and then there's the trucking copy. They're all black, but to help you understand, we went ahead and put colors associated with them. Here is a sample copy of a Rinker shipping or bill of lading. Let me show you where you'll find the name of the document in the very bottom. You'll see the name, and they'll be called the original, the project, the customer, and trucking. Each of the copies go to an individual people or person. The original goes back to Cedric. The project will go back to Cedric. The customer will be given to the customer when you deliver the product, and the trucking will go back to us so we can actually bill Cedric for the load. Steps once you've checked in with Cedric. Cedric will give you the 4 bills of lading to sign. The driver will sign all 4 copies of the bills of lading. Cedric will then keep the trucking copy as insurance that he will get his other 2 copies back. Then the driver takes the original, the project, and the customer to the forklift to get unloaded. Make sure when the forklift driver loads you that you get your paperwork back to leave. Once you get loaded, secured, leave for the job site. Rinker paper flow once you leave Rinker. Remember, drive safely to the job site. At the job site, you'll give the fellow, typically a laborer, the customer bill of lading for the load. Next, you'll have the guy at the job site sign the project copy and the original bill of lading, and you need to keep them. Remember, you need to keep them. Once you're unloaded, if you have another load, return to Rinker to get loaded. Once you come back to Cedric's office, you will give him the original and the project bill of lading for the load you just delivered. Cedric will then give you back the copy of the trucking bill of lading for our records. Again, at the end of the day, you'll turn in the trucking bill of lading with your time ticket. Every time you go back to Cedric, give him the project and the original bill of lading. You keep the trucking copy of the bill of lading and turn it in end of shift at your employee slot in the driver's area at the end of the shift. Where to find the information from the Rinker bills of lading. We'll show you that next. Here on the bill of lading, just circled it in red, is the bill of lading number that we bill by, and you eventually gets paid by. So you need to go ahead and put that on your hourly timesheet so we know what load that you've done as a double check or cross check. Also information here for the job site that you can then go through and put in your hourly time ticket. Driver puts his date on it, puts his name on it. We're going to show you a sample of an hourly timesheet to help you fill it out correctly so that you get paid correctly. On your timesheet, you need to put the SO, which stands for sales order, which will be given you from dispatch or either through Samsara. That's our control document to know what you did. Time you left the yard, time you arrived at Cedric's yard, and then for each line going across the paperwork, you'll go through and fill out times that you've left Cedric's yard when you arrive at the job site, and then when you leave the job site. How to get paid for hourly jobs. People have those questions, so we'll explain it to you. We pay off what Cedric pays us, which is Cedric will add 30 minutes for travel time from the time you hit his yard. As an example, if your start time at Cedric is at 6 o'clock, he will pay you start time at 5:30. And then at the end of the day, if you leave the job site at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he will pay you 30 minutes to get back to the yard. So the time is from start time to end time, basically plus an hour. Important part is we give you a $20 a day bonus to be on time. The time is your signed time that comes through you from dispatch. As an example, if you're supposed to be there at 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock is 6 o'clock, not 6:05, not 6:02, it's 6 o'clock. Cedric is quite busy. He runs a very tight ship, so you need to be on time so it doesn't back up the other trucks behind you. Again, this part, you need to wear your PPE to qualify for this. We do a lot of box jobs. There's questions about how you get paid for box jobs. So we get paid a set amount from Cedric, and we typically pay you 20% of that. So the faster and safer you work, the more money you make. All drivers like to do boxes because they make more money than they do on an hourly working on pipe. Be safe. Here is a sample of a filled out time card. Very top, again, is a sales order. That's given from you, again, from dispatch or from Samsara. Put the date on it. Put your name on it and your customer. This timesheet is used for multiple customers, so make sure you put rinker on that as a customer. Time you arrive in the yard, time you leave our yard, and then the time that you start loading at Cedric. He will pay you, this fellow showed up at 6:45. He will pay us, which will pay you from 6:15 is when he left that half-hour travel time. And then loadout is when you leave Cedric's yard. Delivery is when you arrive at the job site. And then delivery out is when you leave the job site. Again, here's the rinker bills of lading number to go through and coordinate what you've done with a shipping document. Here's probably the most important piece on the paperwork is Cedric's signature. The signature is there to go through and let us know that you're on time. So once they see that in the billing department then goes through and puts a star on it that you're on time, and we pay the $20 for that day. So in a given day, given week, there's an extra $100 on top of your normal pay just to be on time. Again, we don't argue with you. If Cedric says 6 o'clock and you're 6:05, you're not going to get it. So please be on time. The last load of the day. So once you get unloaded at the job site, wherever the job site is, you need to go ahead and come back to the terminal. Put your time when you leave the job site, and then Cedric will go ahead and add an extra half an hour to that. So once you come back to the job site, you're going to have 2 pieces of paper that you did not turn into Cedric, which will be the original and the project copy of the last bills you took. Make sure you put those with your time ticket and the other trucking bills of lading you received out through the day with your time ticket into your driver slot. Once back at the terminal, park your truck. Now, let's be a professional driver and do your post trip before you park your truck. That way you can tell management what needs to be fixed. We can fix it before you start your shift the following day. Again, can't emphasize enough, be a professional, follow the law, post trip your truck.